Hello, world. What separated your deep ball from everybody else?
My deep ball, it has a little secret sauce to it, man.
Never get too high, never get too low, but just keep moving.
The whole story is Carlos never beat me in any kind of sports in high school.
Welcome to the Orange is the New Black podcast. We are your hosts. He is Zim Hude. I'm Ace Boogie. Zim, what's going on, bro?
Hello, world. How's everybody doing? I'm just making some adjustments. How's my mic sound? Am I straight? Am I good?
Mike sounds good. Mike sounds very good.
All right, I made a couple of quick adjustments before we went on just now, but I hope everybody's having a good day. We're here recording on a Friday afternoon, lunchtime special. We wanted to give a chance for people that follow the pod, follow the channel, to be able to get some questions asked, let's talk Bengals. There's not too much going on after the big deal with La'el Collins being signed this past week. I think he signed his official contract 2 days ago now, or it might have just been yesterday, actually. But the numbers are in our favor.
Yeah, for real. Like, I think somebody had a tweet out there, and their name escapes me, so forgive me if you're hearing this or watching this after the fact. But they said that, we initially signed Bobby Hart for 3 years, $21 million. And now, 3 years later, we're signing La'el Collins, who is obviously a top right tackle in this league, at that amount. And he was just talking about how far we've come. And so for La'el to sign a deal like that, it means that this is all about business. This is all about championships, like he said the other day in his press conference. It's clearly about championships. And so that's dope. But like Zim is saying, you guys jump in the comment box, ask us questions. That's what this is for. It doesn't have to be a super chat. If you do, we appreciate that. But we really are trying to get back to the fans and answer your questions. So we love
I'm gonna get
you guys.
I'm gonna get to the super chats a lot faster though.
That's right.
Hey, but I did want to say this real quick. Alex Kappa, just the guaranteed money. Alex Kappa has a guaranteed money of $11 million. Ted Karras $5 million, and La'el Collins $5 million. Not much at all. If you're looking at the landscape of football right now, as far as guaranteed money, that is very, very low, preparing us for Joe Burrow, T. Higgins season coming up, I guess.
Facts. So the first question is from BSul513. He asks, what's the next move, fellas? Then what is the next move?
For me, I think I asked this even on my Instagram page too. If you don't follow us already on New Stripe City's Instagram, follow my Zim_Hude on my Instagram as well. But I posed this question. For me, it's do you go get the Nelson, what's the kid or the guy Nelson, the corner from Steelers,
Steven Nelson.
So do you go get a Steven Nelson like guy now, or do you go after the draft and go get a guy like that? Same thing will be asked about Quentin Spain and Larry Ogunjobi. Those are the three where I think the draft kind of guides you in which way you want to go. If you go to the draft and you go get Linderbaum first round, then you don't bring back Spain. You go to the draft and get 2-3 techs, you probably don't bring back Ogunjobi. You go to the draft and only come out with one corner, maybe you do go get a Steven Nelson. Maybe you now looking at if Stephon Gilmore still around, you make that move. But I think the Bengals are in a good position where they're just signing like guys that they need, special teams aces like Stanley Morgan, insurance pieces like Trent Irwin, different things like that got done this past week, where you're putting yourself in a position where now we could head to the draft. If anything, I might see them picking up another D tackle or something like that, maybe just as a camp body or something like that. But for me, I think it'd be after the draft.
Yeah, I think I had to agree with a lot of what Zim said as far as looking at Ogunjobi, Spain, maybe James Bradbury, seeing how that situation plays out. I'm pretty sure they're probably monitoring that as well. Stephon Gilmore, I think the only way you look at him is if he's coming on a bargain in like a 1-year prove-it deal to win a Super Bowl, similar to like the deal that La'el has. Or is it, am I saying his name correct? Because you said it differently earlier.
Yeah, because at his press conference, our buddy, I think it was Jeff Hobson might have asked him, or no, it was Dan Horde that asked him, and he said La'el.
So yeah, I want to say his name right. So La'el, similar to that kind of deal, I think is what you're looking at. The next one comes from Jacob, and he asked, "What would you want, Quentin Spain back, or to start Carmen?" Me personally, I think I would want to bring Quentin Spain back just because I feel like we already know what he can do in that system. He had a great season last year for the most part. I get people talking about Carmen, but this is interesting because I want to hear what Zim's thoughts are on this potential question or this question here.
For me, I think the plan should be to groom all the kids to get them ready to Deonta Smith, Jackson Carman. Those are the two guys that I'm just fully on board with. The next couple years, those are the guys that have to take the starting role. So for me, I'm not in a rush to start Jackson Carman. I think the draft tells you everything. If the guy is in a first round or second round pick, I think 100% you bring back Quentin Spain. Spain has been posting his highlights. He doesn't have any ill will towards the Bengals, even as early as today. He's still working out at Black Sheep with Drew Sample and all those guys like that. So clearly, I think there's an opportunity to be here. But where you get him and how we come out of the draft dictates the money. Facts.
Gonna go to another friend of the show, Greg Luther. What up, Greg? He says, what remaining free agent cornerbacks would make sense? I kind of mentioned earlier James Bradbury, Gilmore, Zim. You mentioned Stevie Nelson. Is there anyone in addition to that you feel like would make sense?
Trey Flowers. That's a move that I think they should bring back Trey Flowers now. Like what he's done to tight ends. Now you talk about the Chiefs with no Tyreek. Whew. Give me Trey Flowers. Like let's get this thing going. And then you think about now you got to come with that same kind of concept when you play the Raiders or teams like that. So, I think Trey Flowers offers a lot for the secondary in a hybrid role. Somebody last night on our Twitter Spaces, if y'all don't know, y'all need to go on these Twitter Spaces because it's like an all-out debate team special every single week or whatever. But someone was talking about Tyrann Mathieu, and I would welcome an LSU, type of thing. Now he's getting older. It'd be like a 1-year prove-it type of deal, and he would be kind of roaming. But him on our defense would be kind of crazy. I don't think it would happen, but, those are the guys that are still out there.
Got another one from our Keith Lasson. What do you guys think the Bengals need now because y'all got an O-line? For me personally, I probably would say 3 tech. Depth just there, probably some edge rush depth, and I would probably also say second corner.
For me, it's going to be left guard and cornerback too. Those are the only starting positions up for grabs, and then also the 3 tech position. If you don't bring back Ogunjobi, I honestly, this would not be crazy to me if the Bengals come out of the draft with 2 corners. If the Bengals come out of the draft with 2 corners and 2 3 techs, if they came out with that, I think it might look a little crazy, but I wouldn't be surprised with it at all.
Right. Joey Pruitt, I hope I said that right. Am I crazy for being so high on Hayden Hurst? It depends on how high you are. If you're expecting him to come in and have like 1,100 yards, yes, that's too high. If you're expecting him to have 500 to 600 yards, I don't think that's too high.
I got an alert earlier today. Ace did a good breakdown on. I didn't get a chance to watch the whole thing. I watched a couple of minutes, but you just did a Hayden Hurst breakdown on your YouTube, right?
Eric Robinson, the Falcoholic. So he's a guy that has some insight on the Falcons. So if you haven't watched that, be sure to check it out. He kind of said the same thing that I just echoed. If you're expecting 1,100 yards or something like that, no. If you're expecting him to match CJ's production, he said, yeah, you pretty much are looking at that.
I think with Chris Evans, if he could give us like 200 yards, receiving, and then you couple that with Joe Mixon getting a little bit more receiving, and also Joe Mixon actually running for more, I don't think that's a big deal. Him getting 500 yards is cool with me. Also, look for the Bengals to go get a tight end. There's a lot of tight ends that are now like starting to shoot up the boards too, which bodes well for us on some of the things that we just talked about.
I'll let Zim answer this one.
Jelani Woods.
Mark Graves asked, any worries about Joe's knee injury from the Super Bowl?
Nope. Joe's knee is about as good as mine. I can kick anybody's BUTT all across the AFC North every single week. We can get it. We can run it. Let's line it up. My knee is good to go. I'm kicking and I'm going hard this year. Let's go.
Another one here from Mark Romero. What grade would you give our free agent signings?
I said this online. You want to go first, Ace?
Yeah, I probably would give it right now. I would say a B+ right now because I still think that there's still some spots that they could are signed to bring it to like that A range, but I would probably say, or that A range, I would probably say right now, a B plus.
For me, I said B plus, A minus. I thought the Eli Apple move, although I don't think it's a bad move, I just thought Casey Hayward. Me saying A minus or B plus is just predicated more so on my preference. It's not like what is right or what is wrong. It's probably some of the moves that I would have did. The Hayden Hurst one, I would have went even harder at Gronk. I just think like right now we're looking at them with like $12 million in cap space left. I just would have went crazy with Gronk for real. Like, I don't care about Tom Brady. Like, if Joe Burrow got him over his house with some cupcakes and crackers, it's a done deal. Like, period. So that's how I feel about it. So if you want to give me an A plus, give me Gronk and everything. Another thing too, I don't think it's that far fetched to get Treader. I think long term, I was looking at I always mispronounce this word wrong, amortization chart, but I was looking at that. And Treader, along with some of these other guys, it doesn't match up well with the extension of Jamar Chase. So you might mess up or drop the ball on that too. So that's one of the things I've kind of come to grips with, is that getting Treader is possible, but long term it might affect you, and you better win a championship.
Right. Alstream MLG with the super chat at 199. Appreciate that. How many wins will it take to make the playoffs? I'm gonna say to make the playoffs, with the emphasis on that, I think you at least need 10 wins. I think 10 wins in the AFC, especially with everybody loading up, I think it's going to be tight there at the end. I think 10 is going to guarantee you a spot at the table.
I think 10 guarantees. I think 9 because AFC West is going to kick everybody's butt around there. So you're going to have a lot of losses in there. Same thing with the North. We'll be kicking everybody's butt around there. The only one that I feel like is pretty defined is like, Colts and – I don't know. You never know how this thing is going to play out. So I still, think there's probably like a 3-way tie with 9 wins, and that and one of those teams gets in. So maybe the wild card is 9 wins, but everybody else like 10.
Yeah, I could see someone sneaking in with 9, but it'll be like that weird like divisional record, and that's when you're leaving it up to that, it's just going to be tough, just like it was last year. But I think I could, like Zim said, see 9 wins, but it'll be whatever tiebreakers that person has. Does Gilmore sign?
My gut tells me no, unless it's like a 1 year. And to me, it would be like $6 million with a cap hit of like $2 million or something like that. Like it just couldn't. I can't see that. I just think a team. We don't know what he wants. If he wants to win, sure. I just think that when you get to 32 years old in this league and you still feel like you're still like a starting corner or whatever, you're looking to have a good opportunity. Maybe the Panthers thing kind of humble like maybe his expectations. I just can't see.
He's a starting corner, but you're saying getting paid like a top elite starter.
Right, like him going to the Bengals, or let's say, like, I would even say, I don't want to say the Ravens, just a Super Bowl, like say he went to the Broncos or something like that. I don't know. Like, they got a spot for him over there or something like that. Like, he's going to make less versus him taking a chance with maybe, like, say the Raiders or something, where I think that's a good fit for him. But someone like a Raiders or whatever, where they're probably going to throw around the money a little bit more. He'll probably get paid more and have more guarantees, and it's a little bit more dysfunctional. I think if he wants like a sure thing, you go Bengals, Bucks, something like that, but you take less money. But I don't know his motivation.
Right. So Jacob is asking, who's your dream pick at 31? For me, I would probably say at this moment in time, how things stand today, March 25th, a Friday, I would say Andrew Booth. Is he going to be there? I don't know. I mean, the dream would obviously be Sauce, but that's not a realistic dream. So giving you a realistic dream would be Booth for me. What about you, Zim?
I'm with you too. I'm Booth, but if Linderbaum is there, and I don't know how the Bengals feel about Linderbaum, but a lot of people say, man, but we got Karras, and I remember the tweet that you first put and said, are the Bengals going to put Karras at center or guard?
Right.
If Linderbaum is there at 31, whoa, baby. Like, I mean, you talking about elite line all of it, and then the future of your line is already set too, because Karras is the elder statesman, I guess, in the room, right? At going close to 30 years old. He's 29. So you got to have a plan for that eventually, right? So I just think Linderbaum saw so many issues. Like Carmen still has time to develop. All these guys behind still have time to develop. Anybody go down, you still got all these guys ready to go. You got the Isaiah Prince's Adenijis and all these guys still right there. I mean, Linderbaum solves a lot. So that would be my number one. But then, yeah, if Booth was there, I think that's the realistic ones that I think could be there.
Right. So what I'm gonna do, Zim, in order for us to try to get through as many questions as possible, I'm gonna just ping pong off each one. So I'm gonna send you one, and then I'll answer one, and then we'll do it that way, so we can get through more of these.
Right.
So
I tried to go faster, but I just talked so much.
Let me see. Nah, you good. My man, the Tay Satana says, "Am I the only one thinking we need more linebackers?"
I think long term you're going to need, more linebackers because you got Logan Wilson about to come up, you got Pratt about to come up, you got some different things that King Davis gave us. So long term, but right now, as it stands, they could go the whole entire draft not drafting one linebacker, and Bailey and those guys coming back. Whew. Facts. But I'm sorry to go off topic, and I know this is going to take some. What about at 31, the kid from Michigan? Now he's more edge rusher, but he tore his Achilles or whatever. He could probably come back 6 months. You make a playoff run. Ogabo. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. I think I'm not. But that guy, if he's there, do you make that pick, Ace? Top 10 talent.
At 31, no, because I have a feeling like that he could fall to the second. I feel confident that he'll still be there at our second round pick. I really do, just because of the type of injury that it is. I think that there's a chance there. So 31. I wouldn't, but yeah, second round for sure. Like I'd even trade up in the second round to move up to go and
right. I like that play. Or trade back out of the first, grab him as your extra pick.
Yeah, you can do that too. Like they traded down and then took him. Yeah, I'm with that as well.
What about that? Is Miles still undersized, still pretty quick? I think in game time situations, I think he would do really well, but he's always going to be undersized and. I don't know how you feel about Thaddeus.
Yeah, I think Thaddeus Moss is going to be a depth guy. He's going to be battling it out with Mitchell Wilcox, and potentially with whoever they might take in the draft. So we'll see. I think he has a chance, though. Let's see. What D lineman should we draft, or should we go after one in free agency? I'm going to say they're going to do both. I think that they're going to go and get Larry Ogunjobi or someone like that, equivalent to that, and I think that they're going to draft someone as well. Someone says, Zim, Chuck is asking, do you think Evans moves in behind Mixon?
I hope so. 100%.
Let's see. Rowdy Every Lap says, why not package 2022 and 2023 first round picks and move up to draft Derek Stingley Jr.? I could see that. This is my only concern with Stingley, though, is the durability, the health, and stuff like that. If you're going to package all of that up, for me, I would go and get Sauce just because I feel like they're equal talents. But Sauce is Sauce is more durable from an injury standpoint, right? Like, I don't think he has the same injury risk. It's just for me, personally, if I'm going to mortgage all of those picks to go up and get somebody, it's got to be somebody that I feel has a clean medical record.
I think like Duke Tobin. I've taken on a name as Duke Shiesty. If y'all see me on Twitter, but Duke Shiesty wouldn't do that move. I'm gonna tell you that straight up. Yeah. Duke is not about that. We're gonna let Booth or we're gonna let somebody else fall to us. I know before the draft, it seems as though things like if I could go up with a 4th round pick and get to like pick 21 or something, and Stingley was there, sure, but I don't think they're in a position. If we're thinking about long-term future, money, all these guys that we got to get paid, we need bodies to sit and be ready for that day. I think you just can't give up that much draft capital.
Facts. My man Diddy said that Zim bribed Collins with the koi fish to sign.
Diddy, that's cap as hell. Ain't no way in hell I'm giving up any one of my koi fish on anything, bro. Them like my kids at this point. Ain't no way in hell. Diddy keep on playing, talking about I should have did that to Collins, but we got the Collins deal. We got it done. We just gave him some cupcakes, took him over there to would they take Matt Ryan over there to Magic City and gave him some chicken wings up in the Blue Flame. That's how we doing these deals these days. This Duke Shiesty era right now.
Facts. Let me find another question here. Let's see. I see a lot of comments. I'm looking for some questions. Let's see. Appreciate the love though.
Happy birthday, DJ Mister, man. You always in the comments. I appreciate you guys, man. Happy birthday, DJ Mister. I saw that pop up on there. Appreciate you.
Let's see. All right. I got another one here from Donnell Geralds. Hey, Ace, have you cut the tape on Jeremy Record out of Ohio State? If not, you should. Huge vertical threat. I have not, but I've heard a lot of people talking about him. So I definitely will be cutting the tape on some tight ends here soon. Rob Crute for UZM says, do you think we should sign one big free agent or low-tier players for depth?
It depends on who the big free agent that is left. If it's Stephon Gilmore level talent, or if it's Tyrann Mathieu or somebody crazy out there, like I consider that a big free agent. But is that big anymore? Like some of the guys that are still out there, they're older now. So if the price is right, you could do it. But 100%, we're gonna have to have some depth camp bodies in there, especially at D tackle is one position that I think that they're gonna have to load up some camp bodies at the very least.
Facts. My man, the Como Show, shout out to him. Be sure to subscribe to his channel for $1.99. Says that the Bengals have the whole league in disarray. I agree. My man Dustin Croft for $10 super chat. Appreciate that. Flash forward 10 years. What are the chances that all these large quarterback contracts equates to actual Super Bowl wins? I am having huge doubts after seeing the Chiefs cap issues. The Rams won in spite of Stafford all year. I mean, for me, I think that as the salary cap goes up, maybe that evens out, but it's always been an issue. It's been an issue now. So I don't think that the issue becomes even larger because I think it's already an issue now, but it just depends on who the quarterback is. When you have a quarterback like Joe Burrow and he gives you a chance to win and he can elevate the team, sure, I think that it actually hurts the middle tier guys, the guys that aren't elite, right? Do you really want to give 20 or 30 million to a guy like Baker Mayfield? I'm not saying that to pick on him, but he's just right now kind of in that territory. Do you really want to give it? If you want me to get off of Baker Mayfield, do you really want to get that money to Kirk Cousins? Like, so for me, I think that it's actually going to hurt those middle tier guys. It's obviously going to command a lot of money, but I think teams will now be more smart with that investment on who they give that amount of money to.
If Baker Mayfield wants to shine Joe's shoes, I got a job position for him. Like we'll set him up a nice little stand over there at PBS parking lot, shine his shoes on and get him right, and we can give him a position that he deserves.
Here's an interesting one from Stephen McCoy. He asked, can Deontay Smith take the left tackle job this camp?
I think the bigger question is, can he take the left guard position? I think everybody's penciling in Carmen. I think Deontay Smith was a victim of a lot of injuries when I think they were ready to make that move. And then he was just too far behind the 8 ball. You start getting to the playoffs and all that stuff like that. I would not be surprised if Deontay Smith takes the left guard position over Carmen. And, like say they don't do the Spain deal. Even if they did the Spain, I don't know. That's where I see him.
Shout out to my man DJ Mister for the $9.99 super chat. I appreciate that. He says his birthday is today, but wanted to come and shout out Zim and Ace. Who day, all day.
Who day, bro?
Especially on Sundays. Appreciate you, DJ Mister, for stopping through, and I hope you have a great birthday today.
Yes, sir. Better get your orange and black cake.
Yash is saying Bozeman is available. Would you guys go for him if we can't get Linderbaum, Zion, or Green? Bozeman isn't available. I believe he was supposed to sign with the Panthers. So last I heard, he signed there. But Zim, would you go after Linderbaum, Zion, or Green in the draft?
If it's me, I go Linderbaum. I just think that the potential guards like Zion is always just going to be a guard, and then Green combine the athleticism and different. The different things that I think we thought he was, because in college he played so many different positions, but he didn't test that way. Linderbaum for me would be like where I would want to go. Now the short arms are going to be a concern. I think a Linderbaum probably about the same length as Billy Price. I don't know. Somebody would have to run me the arm length on him, whatever. But that would be a bigger concern where he's getting like bigger guys or whatever. Like I remember Billy Price always having guys like where he would get behind and you don't have that arm length to like get guys off of your body and stuff like that. So that's a thing. But that's who I would go with. I just think he's super tough. He's a glass eater and he would absolutely do work in the AFC North. That's what I would do. Bozeman, he lacks athleticism, and you're kind of betting on Bozeman to take the next step to just like be consistently a good center.
Right. Francis here says, do you think we should double down on cornerbacks in round 1 and 2? I'm going to say no, just simply because if you have a lineman there, if you have a 3 tech there, or you have an edge rusher that's not supposed to be there, like the man out of Michigan, then I would rather probably take one of those guys, especially with us bringing back Eli Apple for a year. We got to the Super Bowl with Eli Apple, right? But we still could potentially take a young guy there. So I think we only need one if you're talking about the first 2 rounds. Now, if we get to the mid rounds or something like that, or 3rd round, another dude that I would love is Marcus Jones. I think that he brings kind of that Pac-Man Jones element where he's a really solid corner, but he's an amazing return man. Like, he's been compared to Dante Hall, the human highlight stick or the human joystick. So that is how I could see them taking more than one corner.
There's a lot of different circumstances, man, because you get down to like 3rd round and then Kobe Bryant or somebody like that sitting there too. You know, there's some corners that a guy I really like on Twitter, my guy, I like my guy Johnny, and what's the other kid that we always be talking to, Ace? He really studies like the draft stuff. He was telling me about the cornerback from Michigan as well, with having some split duty type stuff too. Okay. So that's another kid that kind of Daxton Hill. So okay. That's another guy.
Okay. Let's see. We kind of already talked about this one. I'm not so sure about this Jelani Woods guy. Zim, are you familiar with Jelani Woods yet? I've heard the name. I haven't did a deep dive into him, but apparently he scored a 10 on his, I'm assuming, relative athletic score.
Right. He's one of
crazy. That means he's probably like one of the most athletic players of all time.
Right. And had they not gotten Hayden Hurst, there's a world where I can see them maybe even trading back and getting into that 2nd round and getting 2 picks, getting a corner, and then probably looking at a guy like that because the athleticism is off the charts. I saw some tape, like this guy on Twitter had his thing cut up, and I saw about like 2 minutes of him. Nothing like crazy world-beating stuff, but better than what we currently have. So I know the Ravens, I was in one of their spaces. They're 100% looking at him. Like, everybody should be taking a look at him, honestly, like if you test out like that.
Yeah, no problem. I'm seeing my man Ira is talking about that. He posted a question. I didn't see it, Ira, so if you can, go ahead and post it again. But yeah, we're jumping around as fast as we can because we're on limited time. So if we do miss some questions, we apologize, but we're trying to jump in and find them. That's one of the reasons that the super chats make it a little easier when the questions get flown out. But Ira, I know that you're a member of the channel, so let me know what that is, and I'll try to get to that. Royal Flush Terry asks, what Bearcat is most likely to become a Bengal? Obviously not Desmond Ridder.
I think Kobe Bryant. I think like him in the 3rd round, I think like a lot of stuff that he does matches up well with, what the Bengals do. I think that will be the sweet spot for me, like based off of all the cornerbacks I have on here. I forgot where I got them ranked, but I think I got them like 12th or something like that. Mm-hmm. If they can get him like in the 3rd, to me, I think that'd be a one guy. I don't know. Is there anybody else that you know of?
There's a receiver. I think he's like number 12. I think that, maybe in the mid rounds they think about grabbing him as well. But I think you hit it on the head with Kobe Bryant. I think Kobe Bryant feels a need and would be somebody that they should look at. And I mean, you just look at his resume. He's a local kid. Obviously, they've seen him. So I think that he's the most likely to probably be drafted by the Cincinnati Bengals. Let's see. Yash asks, are Osai and Cam Sample capable of having an impact? Osai has got to be feeling this. I've got this feeling about him. He's massive.
Pause.
Pause. But yeah, I think either one of those guys. I mean, we already saw Cam Sample have an impact. I think he goes to another level next season. And then Osai, we kind of saw that in preseason. So yeah, for sure. Let's see. Tulo fan here asks, what about Kyle Fuller? He's 30 years old at corner.
After the draft?
Yeah, I would say that too. Like it would be after the draft kind of thing for me as well.
Yeah, I would. I like him. It's just one of those things. If you come out of the draft with 2 corners, then you wouldn't draft him. I mean, you wouldn't sign him. My bad.
Yes, sir. So my man Akoma, he asked, appreciate the super chat for 199. He has any security blankets available for the red zone. I mean, I think you probably look at tight ends possibly. I don't know if you feel like likely would be one or not, but
well, is he talking about free agency or is he talking about in the draft?
That I'm not sure of. I don't know if he's referring to free agency or the draft. Free agency, I feel like you already kind of got what you need there in Hayden Hurst. Obviously, a bigger security blanket would be Gronk, but we kind of talked about that earlier. Obviously, it kind of seems like he's trending towards the Brady return. But in the draft, I think you look at any of those tight ends that are in there. Who's the kid that's number one that we talked about, Zim? You always tell me about him.
McBride.
McBride is probably a guy that you could use as a safety blanket in the red zone as well.
He's like a second round target. I see a bunch of questions, man. The Fight family says, how many rings do you think Joe Burrow will win in his career? I'll let you answer that.
I think at least a minimum of 2. A minimum of 2. I think he has potential to win more than 2, but I think at least a minimum of 2.
I always say this to you. I say, man, we'll always look back on Joe Burrow's career, right? This is just, I think we should record this. We'll always look back at his career and say, man, he got 2 rings, but that day in LA, we should have got 3. I think we'll always sit back and say that, be like, bro, like he should have, like when we're arguing with people, we'll be like, man, Joe Burrow should have 3 rings. And they'll be like, well, he only got 2. Like I just feel like that in my heart, that's going to happen. Like that's the conversation. Anything more than that, I mean, I think that's crazy. That's crazy. It's possible though. If they're making moves like this, I feel like, and they keep the same formula, we're good.
Yash, I just keep picking you for some reason. He says we haven't discussed punter. What do you guys think about taking a punter in the 4th or 5th? There's a good punter in this draft. I wouldn't mind taking one in the 5th.
Not just a good punter, probably the greatest punter of all time. So that's a good
4th. Then I'd take him in the 4th. Then I'd jump out there and do it. What's up?
That's the kid from, I think is his name Ariza. I forgot, or he played from Arizona State or whatever. I don't know. But for me, I will tell you this: say they got that dude. I think there are a lot of people that think that we got lucky and all this other crazy stuff or whatever. They would think the Bengals are part of the Illuminati if we got him. Because if you're talking about all facets of a football team, not only will we have the best kicker in football, the best quarterback, and now you're talking about even if we have a drive that isn't good, now you end up with the best punter in football. Like we would be winning all facets of a football game. Yeah, he played for San Diego State, but man, that is very enticing. And I think us getting our kicker now, McPherson, kind of opened my eyes to hey, that's a possibility if that guy can cash out year one, it makes it worth the pick. I wouldn't go any further in 4th. Prior to this season, I would have told you, I wouldn't go above the 6th round. But, now, if I look at the board and it doesn't look crazy, and I don't like a lot of guys there, I wouldn't be mad at him in the 4th.
Mo Grogan here, or Grogan, says, I saw somewhere the Bengals are currently taking bids for a practice facility. Any truth to this? I have no idea. We have to just wait and see.
I think y'all are going to get some news around October.
All right. Let's see. Rowdy Everlap. This seems like more of a statement. He says Burrow sets the season pass yards record in 2022. I'm going to answer it like a question. Are you talking about? I guess he's saying just in general with the NFL. I'm not gonna say that, but I think he could re-break. I think he could break the Bengals record, whatever the franchise record for a single season is.
Right.
I think that's definitely up for grabs.
I think he's just making a proclamation. Burrow's going, he's calling his shot. Rowdy every lap. I think he's just calling his shot. He just believes that Burrow would set it. I think Burrow should be a candidate and probably win the MVP. If they look, how it kind of goes, the politics of it. I just think if they have a successful season, they only lose no more than 4 games, then I think Burrow's your MVP. Just based off of this past year, in my mind, I feel like he should have got it, but that's how it goes.
I gotta get this one to Zim. Our man Diddy said he proposed this on Twitter. John Ross back here.
You know what's so crazy to me? I don't think it would be a good idea because I just think the stigma that, but that's the type of guy that I wish was kind of around, like in free agency, like, like that we don't have a history with. I just think the fans and everything, like the community, like all of that stuff, him reading all that crap, people already down on him. I just think it will go against him. I wish that wasn't there because that is the type of guy. You need a fast, speedy type of guy, but you also need the guy to be able to have some punt return abilities. But him as like a fourth option or something, like now at this part in his career, that would be amazing. If somebody's out there like that, where's Will Fuller at right now?
Will Fuller is still a free agent. He was one of the people that I was thinking about as well.
That went in the draft. I'm gonna tell you, once you get to like the second, third round, it's so crazy. I keep on saying this. There's a bunch of dudes this year that are big body wide receivers that somebody asked about red zone threats. There's a lot of bigger options, bigger players at tight end and wide receivers that have a little bit more speed. There's less gadget guys. That's why I kept on talking about the kid Austin from Memphis. But because I'm trying to find like a John Ross type, Fuller type burner, you put that on the other side of Uno, burn them out, get them all out there, stretch the field, get it wide open. Then you got T. Higgins and Boyd underneath, and then Hayden Hurst. Like now we're really cooking. Like that's the type of like, mixing Evans chipping, going out, leaking out into the backfield. Like it's with Will Fuller like taking the top off, Jamar running double routes now that we got time. Like double moves, oh my God! Like,
yeah, that would be.
Man, you could block that up. Unstoppable.
So we're gonna go ahead and bring this to a close. We appreciate you guys for rocking with us. This episode was sponsored by Midwest Best Barbecue. Please be sure to check them out in Loveland. We actually just had Jamar Chase's pops just slid through there and got some of those Uno wings. He definitely is a fan of them. You should be a fan of them. Check them out. They got Aloha wings, Uno wings, Grippo wings, all kinds of wings, and of course barbecue as well, and ice cream. So please be sure to check them out. Midwest Best Barbecue, 669 Justice Court.
Yes, sir.
Sam, was there anything that you wanted to say before we get up out of here, bro?
No, man. I just want to say I appreciate you guys supporting us. We're going to make some big moves this year, so be on the lookout for that. Keep on watching all the shows on this channel, on Cincy Jungle's channel. We got a lot of good content coming out. It is very, very important that you all let everybody know about me and Ace as much as you can so that we can kind of make the quality of our show better, give us more content and more interviews. We've interviewed anybody you could think of. If you go back, Carl Lawson's of the world, Jeff Hobson's, PFF Specials, anybody that you could think of, Hugh Jackson's of the world, TJ Hushmanzadeh's. We can still bring you that, but we are counting on the people to make sure that you tell everybody about us and keep on rocking with Who Dat.
Facts. So, as usual, we're going to end this with a yes.
Sure.
Hello, world. What separated your deep ball from everybody else?
My deep ball, it has a little secret sauce to it, man.
Never get too high, never get too low, but just keep moving.
The whole story is Carlos never beat me in any kind of sports in high school.